Think about that one person who occupies every corner of your mind. The mere thought of them sends your pulse into a frantic rhythm. You find yourself refreshing your notifications for the 10th time in a minute, desperate for a signal that isn't there. When their name finally pops up, that surge of electricity you feel isn't actually the spark of a soulmate, it is a neurological hit of dopamine. It is your internal reward system firing off in response to a potential prize. This chemical doesn't prioritize the person, it prioritizes the maybe. It thrives on the gamble of a possible connection rather than the substance of a real one. Before you convince yourself this is destiny, you need to determine if you are actually falling for them, or if you are simply a passenger on a biological roller coaster. Here at Looks Fine Inside, we are pulling back the curtain on how your brain's pharmacy uses desire and obsession to mimic the feeling of genuine intimacy. When an infatuation takes hold, your internal chemistry undergoes a radical shift. A cocktail of dopamine and norepinephrine floods your system to provide that high, while your serotonin levels, the very thing that keeps you grounded, actually take a nosedive. This is the physiological explanation for why you can't eat, why sleep feels optional, and why your focus is shattered. You aren't losing your mind, you are experiencing a state that psychologist Dorothy Tenov identified as limerence. It is a period of intense intrusive longing where you treat at every brief interaction like a cryptic puzzle to be solved. Your brain isn't celebrating a partner, it is chasing the next peak. Since dopamine is triggered by the hunt rather than the catch, the agony of not knowing if they like you back actually feels more addictive than a stable relationship. The mechanics of wanting and liking are handled by completely different sectors of your gray matter. Research by Dr. Helen Fisher shows that pure physical longing originates in the hypothalamus, our primal drive center, while deep affection lives in our bonding circuits, while the early stages are fueled by testosterone and adrenaline. A lasting bond eventually transitions to oxytocin, the hormone of safety and serenity. If your connection feels like a double shot of espresso that leaves you shaking and anxious, it's likely just chemistry. If it feels like taking a deep restorative breath after a long day, you've likely found the real thing. To understand these internal shifts better, it helps to reflect on your own patterns with us at Looks Fine Inside. Beyond the biology, your history plays a massive role in who captures your attention. We all carry an attachment blueprint formed during our earliest years. If your upbringing taught you that affection was inconsistent or had to be earned, your brain might interpret emotional instability as passion. You might find yourself drawn to distant people, not because they are right for you, but because the struggle to reach them feels familiar. Your subconscious isn't searching for a healthy future, it's looking for a recognizable past, even if that past was chaotic. This is why uncertainty is the ultimate fuel for a crush when a text remains unanswered or a look is ambiguous. Your brain experiences a reward prediction error, releasing massive amounts of dopamine because the outcome is a coin flip. In the world of behavioral science, this is known as intermittent reinforcement. The same psychological trap that keeps people sitting at slot machines for hours. Every read receipt without a reply is just another pull of the lever, keeping you hooked on the hope of a jackpot. You aren't necessarily missing the person, you are missing the thrill of the gamble. True connection requires a steady foundation, not just a series of high-voltage shocks. While dopamine provides the flash, it cannot sustain the fire. Your biology is programmed to seek out the new and the exciting, but your emotional well-being depends on finding stillness, The next time a notification makes your stomach do somersaults, take a second to breathe. Ask yourself if you are truly seeing the person in front of you, or if you are just enjoying the chemical rush of the chase. Authentic love isn't the explosion, it's the quiet warmth that remains once the smoke has cleared. If you've ever confused a chemical spike for a lifelong bond, share your experience with the community below. For more insights into the hidden world of your emotions, make sure to stay tuned to Look's Fine Inside.